Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. It's Kriss and Dpalm here, and we're here to do our Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow recaps. We're going to start with Legends first. Let's see what we got here. It is Season 2, Episode 12. Camelot / 3000. The Legends continue their quest to find the Spirit of Destiny before the Legion of Doom get their hands on the pieces. Their first stop in the future, where they travel to, after which they travel to Camelot and find Stargirl guarding a piece of the spear. Look, here's the problem, man. Why are they so goddamn stupid?
What do you mean?
Ray.
Ray's not smart. No one ever claimed Ray was smart.
I think that's what took me out of this episode. Because, like, they get what they need to get, but then there's like, I'm like, wait, why is there still like another 15 minutes of this episode? Oh, Ray's going to be stupid.
Subplot still happening.
Right, Ray's going to be stupid just because.
Look, and the thing is, you're 100% right, but that's kind of why I love this episode, because it's the perfect Legends of Tomorrow episode. It involved a fun time period. It involved a direct confrontation with the Legion of Doom. It involved a clear objective. And it involved our character being stupid. And it involved Sarah seducing a character in time.
I'll give you that one. Look, the episode was with it, and I'm like, wait a minute. If she doesn't kiss Guinevere,
of course she is.
This doesn't. And I'm like, her last name is Lance. Come on, Lancelot. Come on, we come on. It's there. If you guys don't seal the deal on this one, I would have fucking rioted. So no, that was a given. Once Guinevere took the helmet off, took the armor off, I was like, at the beginning of the episode, I was like, oh Lord, Sarah's getting that. She's at least getting a kiss. Like that's happening.
Sarah's in full target lock.
Oh yeah, it's just what I love about this is you know this anytime, because it's like Katie, every time she looks at the character, you can just see it in her face. She's like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Like there's no
questions.
There's no subtlety to it. There's no maybe no. I'm like no, that's happening. Okay, we're doing this. We're doing this now. All right, cool. That's what we're doing. All right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot to like about this episode. But the stuff with Ray really took me out, because I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? And then at the end, he chased after he chased after Damien Dark and challenged him to a sword fight. What?
If someone wasn't being stupid, it wouldn't be Legends.
Okay, but this is a different level of stupid.
Well, maybe we're about to find out. Hopefully, they push this forward with Ray. Like, why is he acting so recklessly? And maybe we get some character growth through there.
I'm
reaching and I'm hoping, but
and I think that's my problem. It's like Ray still being stupid since we met him on Arrow,
and getting stupider somehow.
Right. I mean, like, there's no like we talked about this with Arrow when we had like Felicity and Diggle take that step back. But it's like they might stumble here and there, but for the most part, everybody's still progressing. Ray just. There's no progress with him. Like
zero growth.
His whole thing was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Camelot wasn't even real. Didn't like Stargirl like create it or something like that using the spear? Because it's not a real place, and that's why Nate wasn't really good at this, because it was from fantasy book. It's from fantasy book. So,
but it's the one that Ray grew up on, and it's the one that Stargirl read too. So that's why Ray was so well versed.
No, and I get that. And I'm that's great. I'm fine with that.
I loved that. That was one of the little wrinkles I thought was really cool.
Oh, no, I thought that was great, because I was like, wait a minute, Camelot's not real, so how are they going to do this? Because they're like, oh, well, she has a piece of this. She has a piece of this.
I saw the title, I was like, huh.
Right, I'm like,
Camelot's not real.
And it didn't, and it made sense, because it's like, again, Nate was completely out of his element, because he's a historian. He's like, this isn't fucking history, This is like when they were like, I'm not dressed like a leper. This is how it's supposed to be. And Guinevere calls him a leper. She's like, you got to leave your leper outside the wall. He's like, I'm not a leper, man. Like, again, that was great. But it's like, so let me get this straight. Ray, you're about to die for a fantasy story.
That, you know what? It's true. Like I tried to spin it, and I've tried to make it look okay for Ray. Ray's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm again, we're gonna get to everything else that works, because there is a lot that works here in this episode. I mean, even them explaining what happened to the JSA and how Dr. Midnight went to the future with a piece of the sphere. Stargirl's in the past, like they broke up with Rip to take different pieces of the spear. like that all makes sense to me, and I'm fine with that. Like that was great, and we can get more into that. But it's just like Ray, what the fuck? You're gonna die literally just for some storybook ending. It's Ray is stupid, yes, but at some point he's got to stop being the child of the group. And I feel like Ray and Nate I can kind of get. He's new to this, but Ray, you've been here. Like you still being the child of the group is drive me fucking insane.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just it takes me out of it. Cause I'm just like the entire back half of this episode is literally even Nate's going, this is stupid. And then the legends have to make a decision between going with the spear. Like the only thing that saves this episode is they didn't lose the tip. They didn't lose the spear tip.
Right. They finally won.
Right. If they had, and you know, the other thing that drives me crazy about this is Amaya even says at the beginning, she's like, you guys are always losing. You guys don't win. You guys are. And
they had the nerve to get mad at her about that.
Right. And she's not.
Like, she's right. Y'all lose a lot.
Right. It's true. And then you guys decide that you're going to go back and save Ray because Ray's being stupid. It's like, okay. You know, like I'm gonna carry on this rant into another, and when we talk about Arrow, because there's another character in there that does something that I'm like, I think is really, really smart, but it gets yelled at for doing it because everybody thinks it's stupid. But I'm like, no, that was very, very smart. But it's just like, yeah, Ray should have been left because it's bigger than Ray. And then they start going this whole tactics over team thing and team over tactics. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But anyway. I had to get that out of the way because that was just driving me. Like I said, I watched it. Did I watch? Yeah, I watched Arrow this morning. So I watched that last night, and that was driving me crazy all throughout the night. We're just like, why is Ray so fucking stupid? Like, grow up. Anyway, the other stuff that works in this episode. So, going to the future. Rip, before he got his memories hacked, they explain why the JSA broke up.
It's kind of brilliant.
No, I like that because here's the thing. I had kind of forgotten.
Right.
I did. I forgot that the GSA had broken up and they had disappeared. And the great thing about this is this gives you a way of, at some point, if you ever want to, bringing the GSA members back. Well, not Dr. Midnight now because he's dead, but
you can do a story before they leave.
Yeah,
that'll work.
But no, that was not too bad. Like I enjoyed them doing that, and it makes sense that all the spear pieces wouldn't be in the same place, and that he would give who would Rip trust enough to hold on to them. Well, who else other than the JSA members?
Well, who sent us on the mission this season?
Mm-hmm. So makes sense.
When Our Man showed up at the end of last season,
right? So it makes sense that would happen, and yeah, okay, I'm in on that one. Rip and the other thing I have with this episode is they have to find ways. They have to find, and they've done this before. And maybe because we last time we asked this question, they explained it and it worked out fine. Why is now Damien and Malcolm Merlin not together anymore?
Right.
Now we're back to only because wasn't Malcolm in the last episode? Or was that Damien? Yeah. So now we're getting ripped with one of either or, but not both. All right, now you got to explain that because now I've noticed it, and again,
you've addressed it.
Right.
I'm going to notice it again.
Yeah. So now you address it why we know why Thawne doesn't show up all the time. He's literally outrunning his own destiny, his own existence. You know. So we get that, but what about you? What are you?
Yeah. Why are you still here?
Why are they not together? Why are they sitting off Rip by himself and stuff like that? Because again, had Malcolm been there, maybe Rip doesn't get taken, or unless that's what they wanted. Is that part of the plan? You know? Right. I think maybe if you see previews, maybe that was part of the plan here to do that. But yeah, you need to explain that. You also need to go back to doing what you did at the beginning of the season, which is a better explanation for why Firestorm isn't Firestorm.
Yeah, address it more often. And I get maybe you didn't need him in this episode but But wouldn't that have been easier than taking over the fleet?
No, that would have. No, they didn't. That's the problem. They did need him this episode. It's like, oh my goodness, we're facing overwhelming odds because Rip and Damien had this raise army of they've taken Arthur and they have all the knights and hey, we're outmanned. Well, you have a guy called Firestorm.
Yeah.
And instead, what you have is Stein working on the technology, and I'm like, but isn't that Ray's?
Yeah.
You know, it's things like that kept me from enjoying some of the better moments of this episode, because, like, I'm gonna ask questions now. It's like, okay, is it the budget? Like, why don't you have Firestorm making it?
Well, this was an expensive episode. Like, you remember, they didn't just like go to like a quick period piece.
Right.
They created whole sets in the woods. Like, this was an expensive episode to pull off, and it looks like, just from synopsis of next episode, we're doing one of those on the ship episodes.
Right.
Which is another way to tell you that this episode is expensive.
Right. We're
going to use this set we always have.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's fine, but you need to at least address it in your story so that it makes sense that Firestorm doesn't create. Like,
and for me, it made sense because of, like, you don't want to start throwing technology and people seeing things in the past too much. But then Ray broke out the lightsaber sword, and I was like, well, fuck that then, all right?
Right. I mean, he had the.
I was like, okay, well, there goes your in-story excuse as to why you weren't doing it.
Well, I also like the fact they were like, oh, whatever you do, don't call it a lightsaber. You know?
Yeah, it gets expensive. I was like, oh, that was a little meta, but okay.
Right. Right. I'm like, well, how much did you pay to say don't make it a lightsaber? Because you actually said lightsaber, so it's there. So,
right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, another thing too is, but it's not the past either. Because it's not real.
The past, but it's made up. But that's also showing us a glimpse of the power of the Spear of Destiny.
Right.
You'd think that Stargirl going back and creating an actual thing based on a fantasy book would set off the time aberrations, but it didn't.
Yeah, no. Right.
It shows that you can localizely change time and have it be stable.
And again, a great subtle use of showing you why the MacGuffin is actually an important thing. You know, you need this spear can literally change Thawne's existence and make him whole again. And so that's important. And I thought that was great. I even love the little stuff that Amai had to deal with. Like, does she, because she's getting, it makes sense to me. She's getting fed up. It's like, she's used to working with the GSA who get things done. They don't fail like this. And this team has been failing after failing after failing. And she's just like, yo, we're going to take the spear. We're going to get it. We're going to go. And that's how we're going to deal with it. And I like the idea of her coming to realization that she has to depend on this is the team she's working with now. She has to depend on them, you know? So I enjoyed that. I even enjoyed more her having to pull the sword out of the stone. So that was super dope. I couldn't believe they did that on television. Yeah. You know, hey, listen, hey, it makes it even better is, once again on this show, got to give it to them. The women are the ones who get things done. It's the women and then Jax.
Yo, yes, that's exactly what happens.
My man Jax
is... TV. The women, Jax, and Mick Rory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mick. Mick and Jax are on the same level. Yeah.
Who, if we're voting today, I like to vote him for captain. I'm just saying, they open up the ballots right now.
Just look, if somehow something happens to Sarah Jax, I'm right there with you. Mick is next in charge. And so speaking again of growth, right? I need Stein to grow up too, because Stein is starting to get on my nerves too. This, and again, maybe it's just because I'm living in Trump's America now, but this whole I'm the smart white guy, I know what I'm doing bullshit, motherfucker, you're always wrong.
Like, habitually and dependently wrong. Like,
right.
We can set our watch to you being wrong as shit.
Right. Like, just, oh no, and first of all, his idea that he's the smartest one on the ship, I'm like, okay. Okay.
And the survey said that was a lie.
Okay. All right. So that's the first mistake. Second thing is, it's not if Rip is using that device, he's not the smartest person. You were smart. Like, come on, man. It's not about like he has no ability to see beyond the books and what he already knows. And granted, I guess he's an old white guy, so that's just how they are. But it's getting really annoying. And I love the fact that Jax is just on some. No, we're gonna fix this right now. So you take the receiver. Mick is gonna have the broadcaster. So, but no, it's different. It's like maybe it's not about smarts. Maybe it's about what is inside the brain and the willpower and desire there. And
he's 100% right.
Yeah. And it just this is one of those things again. We're in season 2 now. I think the seasons are way better than the first season.
Yes, I agree 100%.
100%, 1,000 times better than the first season. But you need to get clear with the growth. Like I feel like if this show was more grounded like Arrow was, people will be writing way more. You know, like I always hear people go, "Oh, well, Legends is better than Arrow." I'm like, no, it's really not. It's not because
it's different.
It's different, but the character growth and the way that they do some of these things, no, not even by a long shot. Like some of these characters are stuck in the same mold they've always been in, and they haven't grown up. Even after season 1, even after what happened in season 1, you'd think that they would be different. They haven't, and there doesn't seem to be like at the end of this episode. I don't feel like Ray learned anything, and I don't feel like Stein learned anything. Even though, once again, they were wrong.
Yo, Ray didn't learn shit.
Right.
Like, they were like, Ray, you could have been killed. He's like, nah, the Adams on. Let's go home. That was fun. I'm like, no, it wasn't fun, you idiot.
You nearly compromise. Your team, because they care more about you, nearly compromise the entire fucking mission to save you. And here's the other thing, too. It's going to blow up in their faces next week because Ripper's on the fucking ship, and he's talking to fucking Gideon.
Yo.
Which, again, makes you go, you guys didn't change the command codes? Really?
You know what it reminds me of? I don't remember this. John Gruden left the Raiders to go coach the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And because of the team he built in Oakland, they made the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They get to the Super Bowl, and the Buccaneers realize the Raiders haven't changed one fucking audible from when Gruden was there. He's like, word? Like, watch interviews with Raiders players about they're calling our plays as we were coming out. They told us what play we were running. Then we'd audible, and they knew what play we'd audible to. Like, that was a great Super Bowl, and I think it was I forget it was Dexter something was the MVP, but that was because Oakland was too incompetent to say maybe we should change the way we call these plays.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this was. It was just that's the first thing I thought of because I'm a sports nerd. But like it was like, wait, y'all didn't change the voice commands,
bro. When I leave my job, my key card won't work anymore.
I've gotten to my parents' house when I was in college and came home and the lock had been changed.
Wait, who are you?
I had to ring the doorbell and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, we changed the locks. I'm like, thanks.
Do I get a key?
Yeah,
we'll work that out. Well, let's work that out right now. What do your grades look like?
Yeah, I'm like, wait a second. Oh, that's what. If my parents would change the locks on me, y'all can say, "Hey, Gideon, stop talking to Rep."
Right. It just again.
Gideon, do you have any fail safes that would allow you to betray us to Rep? Of course I do. Will you please disengage those fail safes? Done. It's not like you're gonna hack anything. Just ask the damn machine. The
only thing that'll make this better for me if next week if it's Jax that finally puts Rip down. I mean, I don't mean kill him, but because that's the one thing.
This shit.
That's the one thing I'm noticing that I'm really like. I'm talking about people not getting arcs. I think Jax is getting an underrated arc. You know, from where Jax used to be and where he's at now. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's second in command. He knows the most about the ship next to Rip. And, even him talking to Rip when he comes back in, basically like, Sarah stopped me from killing you, and like I don't think he's as sentimental as everybody else is. I'll put it that way. And, yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying seeing where Jax is going. And I just wish the old white guy he was tied to would fucking listen to him more. So, but hey, It might be the future, but it's still Trump's America. So what can I say? I had to throw that one in there. You got anything? What else you got about this episode?
I just saw something. This is in the comments of one of the reviews online. Really good point that looks like Sarah has a type. That's her fourth queen. That's the first queen we saw her with.
Yeah.
The queen at the beginning of the season. We saw this queen, Nissa Al Ghul, and of course Oliver.
I mean, I can't fault her for that. I mean,
look, woman's got a type.
Hey, not a bad thing. I'm just kind of shocked she hasn't gone after Amaya yet, yo.
She's gonna let Nate strike out a couple more times.
Oh, and so did you also notice that too? There's a couple times when like I felt like Nate. Like, she was kind of getting short with Nate, and Nate was all like, come on, man. Like, you made a mistake sleeping with Nate. I hope you realize that. Because he's also, next to Ray, he's the second biggest child on the ship.
and it's close.
And it's neck and neck. Like
neck and neck.
Neck and neck. It actually might be a tie, to be perfectly honest. Sorry. Like
Ray took the lead this week with his foolish actions all episode.
But Nate will be back next week. So
Nate will not be deterred.
Right. I'm just letting you know this is not does not end well. So yeah. Boy. Anything else we got in here?
No, that was pretty much it for me. I enjoyed it, but like you said, there's a lot of stupidity. For me, it was just a fun. There were consequences, but mostly just a fun episode. A departure into a time period that's not a time period.
Yeah.
We got to see some of our childhood stories play out on television with DC Comics characters. Yeah. It's just in a vacuum. That's a fun sentence to say out loud.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that they didn't make Guinevere some queens in the corner. I mean, she's darning the armor.
Guinevere G, which I like.
I mean, which again, great. And like I said, I started the episode talking about the things I didn't like and stuff like that. But it's just because they're minor annoyances I think that are keeping the show from being truly great. Because overall outside you take the Ray stuff out. It's a fun episode. Like if they ended it right there, I'd have been like, you know what? I actually enjoyed the fuck out of this. And then it was like, wait, Ray's staying back? Why is Ray staying back? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh, because we got okay.
Why are we going back to get Ray? Are y'all serious? Come on now.
Right. So, but yeah, I'll take it. So, all right. So let's move on to Arrow. It is Arrow season 5, episode 14, The Senator. 3 of Oliver's old foes break out of prison and form an alliance. Meanwhile, Lance is confronted with an old partnership. All right. So look, let me start with something right here because it's going to continue on for something I said in the Legends review. I figured out why I really love Thea. All right.
I'm not comfortable talking about Thea.
And I figured out why I really love Thea, and it's something that Oliver said to her this episode, and it's supposed to be a negative and try to make her feel bad about herself, but it's why I loved her. I was like, he basically says, you're turning into our mother. You're turning into Moira. And
you didn't make a mistake. You made a choice.
Right. And I was like, oh man, you know what? Because once I figured out what Moira was doing after like season 1, I was like, I actually liked Moira a lot. Because I was like, yo, she's ruthless. She'll do what she needs to do. She'll do the shit that other people won't do, even though they know they need to. And that is Thea in this episode. Listen, we talked about this last week. Somebody had an email about Susan Williams. And here's the thing. I don't think Susan was going to betray Oliver. I don't. I think she was waiting for Oliver to tell the truth. And I get
it was a good red herring for us to think she was going to betray him.
Right. And I get what Oliver did. Thea was right. I have a Magneto was right shirt. I'm going to get a Thea was right shirt. No, you stop this right now. Because you cannot be sure. And you cannot have Oliver doing what he needs to do with that there. Like when Oliver goes, no, I handled it. And when Thea was like, listen, goes to Felicity's like, hack on the computer and see what she's got in there. And when they see how much shit she has in there, come on, Oliver, you didn't handle that. Nope. 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 Wrong? Look, your dick is not your friend.
I am not here to disagree with Thea Queen because I like my job. I will say this. They could have had a conversation first.
Who?
Thea. She could have said something.
To who?
To Oliver.
She did. She's been... No, because here's the thing. I heard what you're saying because the same thing Oliver said. But Thea was like, what? So we can have the same conversation we're having right now with you telling me the same thing that you're going to handle it? You're not handling it. When she comes to Oliver goes, yeah, Susan asked me if I was the Green Arrow. And Thea's like, And would you say, I handled it? No, that's not a no. No. That already tells me right now there's no need to have a conversation with Oliver because he's already got his head up her ass. Nope. Nope. Thea was right. She did what she had to do because she saw what her brother was doing. See, just like Moira was see what was going on and was like, I'll handle it. And she did. And hey, you know what? Oliver's a little pissed.
You have no problem with how she handled it. Because now, credibility or not, you've armed someone with a lot of knowledge about you, now has a vendetta against you. You created another problem.
Thea has a sword.
Nigga, see,
I'm just.
This is why we can't.
Look. I'm just saying, yo.
Thea has a sword. That's your counterpoint. That's your counter argument.
She's a fucking ninja. I mean, you can do it if you want to, but
you can try if you want to.
You can try.
Let's suggest it.
I mean, shit. Shouldn't have been sneaking around Oliver's back. Shouldn't have been kidding myself on the computer. Shit. Should have had a better password than 1234. I'm just saying.
That Trump authentication.
Hey, look, man. Again, I'm never going against Thea Queen on this one. Like,
oh no,
here's the thing. She gave Oliver plenty of warning that this could happen.
Every chance in the world.
Every chance in the world.
So, you could stop me right now.
We could go, and I'm guaranteeing you there were probably at least 3 times when she told Oliver this was bad. So, third strike, you're out. You got to put Thea in. You got to put Thea in to be the closer. And Thea went in, and she handled it. Now, you might not like how she handled it. Maybe her and Oliver have a little problem with it. But that's his little sister. He's going to get over it. And they'll deal with Susan Williams when they got to. If that means putting a sword through her heart, then fuck it.
See, you and the Seek always back to the sword.
Listen, on this show, a lot of problems get solved with the sword. I'm just saying. And they go through a lot of people. So I'm not
going to sit here and argue about that. That's true. People say violence never solved anything. They never watch Arrow.
Yeah, never watch Arrow.
A lot of things get maybe not resolved the way you wanted, but the problem stops.
The problem gets moved on. So I'm just saying. Yeah. So I just had to start the episode with that because I'm just
like I was like, when are we talking about Thea? Because that for me, nothing else happened. I got to see how ruthless Thea could be, and so we're eventually getting Thea versus Ollie, right? Not this season.
I'm taking Thea. Yeah.
Oh, because Thea won't hold back.
Look, man, I've been like Ollie don't want them problems ever since Thea and him fought and she jumped out off the balcony. It disappeared when she was mind controlled. Ever since then, sorry. Good luck.
I don't want to pretend like this was Thea acting 100% altruistically in Ollie's best interest. What did she say to Detective to Lance? Oh, just taking out the trash. Like she relished in this shit, dude.
Well, let's be honest.
This wasn't a business decision. It may have started as a business decision. She enjoyed every moment of this motherfucker.
Well, again, you also got to remember that Susan Williams at the beginning of the season was also trying to take Oliver down too. So that was strike 4. She tried to take down Oliver Queen as the mayor. Then she's going to threaten and hint at maybe taking down Oliver Queen as the Green Arrow. Oh, come on. Is you crazy? Come on, man.
But we also got like, I don't know. I think Thea was right. Her reasons weren't as like pure as we're saying.
Oh, hey, listen. We are not all of us. Not all of us are angels. She's no angel, and I'm not saying she was. I'm just saying
she leaned in. I'm saying she leaned into that shit. Maybe it wasn't. It had to be done, but she still like she leaned into it. She felt real good about doing it.
You know, it's kind of
taking out the trash. That's fucking mean.
Kind of like how when Oliver double tapping people with arrows in their heads.
Why are you bringing up bullshit?
Hey, I'm just saying. Maybe.
Why are you bringing up bullshit?
I mean, you know, maybe she just learned it. I learned it from you, brother.
No, she learned it from Moira's crazy ass.
Learned it from you, Mom.
Yeah. And I love it because the show for the longest time has shown us that she was quote unquote bad or turned because of the influence of Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
And let us really forget that, like, oh yeah, she didn't need to turn far. it wasn't a huge turn to start killing people because Moira had raised this bloodthirsty daughter in the first place.
Never forget, look, Moira had Walter locked up locked up for a while because he was digging up too much stuff on the Queen's Gambit. So like Moira, like you said, she learned it from her mom. And I can't say that I can't say I'm necessarily disagreeing with everything she did here. All right, moving on. Look, I actually enjoyed the rest of the episode too, but it gave me the Thea stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed them bringing back. I don't know if it was this show, maybe it was the Flash that people were talking about. But I love bringing in some of Oliver's female rogue gallery and people that we've seen before.
I just think that the fact that they brought back Lady Cop as a character is hilarious. One, because the character's name is Lady Cop. Two, because now it gives me hope that Space Cabbie at some point will show up.
Yeah, no, I'm happy they did that. I'm like, I always we didn't like when they had the episode before the first time when they had Liza Warner there, I was like, damn, she's actually. Nice to have a and she didn't die or anything. I wanted to ever bring her back, and they brought her back this episode. And even then, she's kind of like leading the charge with China White and Cupid. So, and I love how they're also tying it back to Tobias Church, and he had all this money there, and they're trying to get that money and start and basically take over. And I'm glad they stopped them because if they had done that, that would have been a problem.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I really liked them mining the past for the episode because it meant that we could get past the exposition of who this character is and why the bad guy of the week is doing what they're doing, and jump right to it because we've already established a connection. It was really Arrow leaning on the fact that it's been 5 seasons.
Yeah, definitely, and
that they can, and that they've got a bench. They're like, let's go to the bench. And other crazy things happening, like the fact that. I'm more and more sure we're getting the I Am Iron Man moment this season, and I don't know if Prometheus forces it. First I thought Prometheus would force all his hand, but you watch him use the exact same phrasing with what's the chief?
Yeah, the chief. I saw that. Yeah, he's like
the
funny.
Chief, and with Susan knowing, like, so it's getting so like at a certain point, I think the last shot of the season is I am the Green Arrow.
Yeah, look, I've been championing this for a while. I've been championing having. These characters. I would love for this to happen, and I would love for Barry to come out too. I've been championing this because I was like, it would be something different, something new. We always get superheroes where nowadays where they have a secret identity. Well, you can definitely change a lot of things up if everybody knows that. I mean, that's going to bring in a whole nother set of problems for them, and it'll change the dynamic of the shows that we've been watching so far. And so I'm kind of hoping for that. I'm hoping for that moment. In this, either they're gonna he's gonna have his Iron Man moment, or you're gonna have a moment where just a lot of people know and don't say anything, don't care. Because at this point, it gets kind of ridiculous because you're like, everybody should know. Come on,
right?
Like Oliver Queen comes back, and next thing you know, every time Oliver shows up, the Green Arrow's there. If Oliver Queen goes on vacation, somehow the Green Arrow disappears. Come on, guys.
Well, they did the thing with Roy where Roy got arrested for being the Arrow. And then never got acquitted of being the Arrow. He just got broken out of jail.
Right.
It was a good way to write Roy off, a good way to kind of add the plausible liability. But you're right. Like, this is getting fucking ridiculous.
Right. So at some point, you gotta deal with it that way. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing how they go with that. I also love the idea of Prometheus. So they started the episode. So obviously, Talia is not Prometheus' mom. They're bringing Prometheus' mom, and they don't do anything with it yet, but you can see the Prometheus like, so you went after my mom. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do now.
It's like that.
Yeah, okay. Right. So I was keeping it nice and clean. I was keeping it nice and,
It felt like he looked dead in the face and said, "Word."
Right. Like he got a text from his mom going, "Yeah, so Oliver Queen showed up. Okay, so that's what we're doing now. Okay, see."
It's like when Peter Parker come home. I met your friend Eddie come by the house. Eddie who? Eddie Brock. Son of a bitch.
Right. Okay. So this is what we're doing now. Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
It felt like a villain thing to do, like going and like harassing someone's mother. But you know what it also did? This is something that happened on Daredevil season 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that was their break against the Kingpin.
Yeah. So this is what we're doing.
It doesn't end well.
No, it never does. Leave mothers
Cost
out.
Ben Urich his life. Spoilers for Daredevil.
Yeah, leave mothers out of it. Like,
can we just keep it? You make it was business.
Keep it respectable. Like
you're making it personal.
Yeah, you're making it personal. So,
don't make it personal.
Never make it personal. So
let it be business.
Mm-hmm. And also like the fact that they're not dropping the whole idea of I mean, again, I think the problem with Malone was the whole tying him to Felicity and the relationship that didn't really matter. But he's making more impact as being a member of the ACTU.
And that's something I'd forgotten about. Not forgotten about, but kind of backburnered in my own head. Was that, yeah, he is Felicity's love interest, but he's also a cop.
Yeah, that was...
from the unit designed to help.
Right. So
the Arrow.
And that's the thing to me that I think all the shows need to get away from. And they're CW, so they don't. Like, these forced relationships kind of fuck up storylines that you already have. Like, if you didn't have Felicity and Malone together, like, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Them being together has not mattered at all once.
It has.
How?
Her desire for vengeance is what pushed her to get involved with this hacker group.
Yeah, but you
like you got to know that's
yeah,
and I thought about that too. I was like, oh, why would you do this? Because if you remove her connection to Billy, she's literally no purpose this season.
I guess you're right. But then
literally no purpose.
But then you know what? That's a problem with the writing.
I know. No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying,
I get you.
I figured it out.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, then that means they need to do a better job of writing because it goes back to the same. That's just you've written yourself in a corner by doing this with this character. You should have, like, everybody else is getting a purpose. You should have given her a purpose beyond just being her boyfriend got killed. You know, it's like they could have done something.
Something else could have brought her back to hacking.
I mean,
anything else could have brought her back to hacking.
Yeah, I mean, her father's still alive, right?
And out there.
Oh, come on! I mean, like I said, there's so many other ways. Shit, her mom. Because here's the thing: don't tell me that if Aretha doesn't know that Oliver is the Green Arrow, that he doesn't know that Felicity is helping him and doesn't know that Donna's out there. Like, there are so many other ways you could do that other than forcing a relationship.
There are a lot of ways to hurt him.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get Felicity in on vengeance without doing the love. It's just lazy, and it turns out that outside of that holding Felicity's purpose by a thread, you just don't. It doesn't matter because he matters more that he's a dead cop, and that's the thing. It's like even at this point when Oliver was mentioning that he shot Malone this episode, Felicity barely flinches. I mean, it's kind of there, but it's just like, yeah, everybody else seems more upset about this than you do. So, yeah, but no, I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed what having Quentin feel like Liza is his responsibility, and working on that, and then even the tie-ins with the flashbacks with Anatoly basically telling Oliver he's a sin eater, and kind of you having not just that reliant line to Oliver this episode, but also Quentin and Thea. And what's going on with that? So I love how Quentin basically goes. When did you become so wise talking to Thea? And I'm like, yeah, everybody should just listen to Thea.
Remember last week we said how Thea was the most right person on the show?
Yeah,
it continued.
It continues, and I'm fine with that. So, yeah. Anything else you got with this episode?
Let me go. Oh yes, I had one more note. Sorry. My last note was the writers of this episode and director, all women.
Oh, nice.
Barbara Bloom and Jenny Lynn wrote it, and director was Mary Lambert. And and Curtis got a new jacket.
Oh yeah, with what, bulletproof weave in it. We're getting there.
Look,
we're getting there.
You slow motherfucker for a genius. For you just now, like maybe the first two times I got shot weren't convincing enough.
Yeah. We're getting there. We're getting there. So
one step at a time.
You know what? Yeah. Also, Oliver's gonna have himself say. I love the fact that they were also now. And again, I feel like, the back half of Arrow season are always their best, and they're really doing a good job so far.
Pacing wise, especially.
Huh?
pacing wise. Like
Oh,
it's not. I don't feel like it's moving too fast, too slow. I feel like they're right. They've hit that good stride here.
And everything feels like an important episode. Nothing feels like this episode. You get a lot moving forward with them getting some movement on Prometheus, and then honestly, if you think about it, the issue with the ACU come from Oliver looking into the Prometheus, which adds more trouble to him trying to capture these three women. And then at the very end, when it gets leaked that Oliver Queen helped cover up, as mayor, helped cover up the real death of what happened to Detective Malone. It's like that's all working together and moving together. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And like I said, the back half of Arrow season's always get things together. So let's get into some emails we got. I did get a couple here. Let's see. Alex says, "Hey, Kriss and Dpalm, just wanted to say thanks for reading my first email on one of your podcasts. Definitely was cool to hear it on the podcast I listen to every week, and I usually been enjoying all the episodes. A lot of stuff to cover, so hopefully you will enjoy this carousel of an email. This week, the DC shows were so-so, but I think Arrow won this week. I was going to say, yeah.
Ooh, I hadn't even thought about it this week.
I mean, listen.
I will say this. The gun band didn't seem to be working at that cemetery now, did it?
I did not, but... yeah, I got to be honest, man. I think Arrow's been winning the last couple of seasons, last couple of weeks here. Flash is going to get a lot of people's attention because it had Gorilla City, but I think as an episode, Arrow.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And one of the things I really enjoyed was in the passing, there was emphasis on Thea trying her best not to be like Malcolm, who just talking about this. In this episode, Oliver says you're becoming more like Mom, and that scares him more. If you think about it, Thea got a small taste of who Moira really was. Sure, Thea blamed her mom for the undertaking, but Moira was a 30%er on that plan. Malcolm was leading the charge on that. She didn't see the version of her mom that shot Oliver in the chest in season 1, or her playing a coup against the Triads against Malcolm then.
I forgot about that.
Selling out her friend when the plan failed. Yeah, oh my God, you're right. I go back and watch season 1 again, because you're right. I'm telling you, Moira Queen was about that life, yo. She was about that life.
She really did shoot her son.
Yeah. Still got some laughs in thanks to the SCPD. Still wondering how Dinah explained those 3 years of her being AWOL. Oh, we forgot to mention that. Yeah. Also the fact that they're not rushing her into being Black Canary, and she understands I almost feel like they understand that they can't just call her Black Canary right out the gate, and that she has to kind of earn that.
Look, nigga, they giving out Dinahs, they can give away Black Canaries.
Look, man, she had the bow staff.
I'm not looking past this. I'm sorry. It's gonna be a sick moment for a while.
She had the bow staff though. So I'm just saying.
Yo, she was nice with it too.
She was nice with it.
That's the other thing. She's like, when Lance is like, you don't have to, she wants you to replace. You want to be honored. I'm like, oh no, she's been replaced.
Oh no, like no.
A vastly superior.
Yeah, no, we got an upgraded model, yo. The 2017 Black Canary is way better than the previous model. So. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Last episode, it was an apartment. Now it's her getting a badge and a gun. Miss Drake, what have you been doing the last couple of years? I know the mayor. Okay, then welcome to the force. Not bad. Wild Dog, my liking of him from last episode disappeared in a few seconds it took for Cupid to take him out with a single arrow, leaving Kurt to get beat up like a frail kid on the schoolyard. New suit ain't gonna help you you fight, son. T-Spheres will. Get on her, text Cisco for assist. He has them though. That's the thing about it. We've seen the T-Spheres when we first it was last season when we first got introduced to them. So we've seen them. They just need to go break them out of Is it still Palmer Tech or is it, yes? I think is it still Palmer Tech? Yeah, Palmer Tech. Also, does SCPD clearly have their priorities straight? Bring in the Green Arrow because he's prime suspect number for one cop's murder. Ignore the 3 escaped convicts that are known mass murderers. Oh, by the way, 2 of them are former SCPD cops. Hey, you know what? Yeah, blue six together. Yeah, because Cupid is.
Is Cupid a cop?
She was a cop, I believe. I thought she was a cop.
Whoa.
I thought she was a cop. I'm pretty sure she was a cop.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
That makes the arrow thing make less sense, but okay. Let's see.
Yeah. I think she was a cop and she kind of fell in love with Arrow in season 2 or 3?
Former Starling City SWAT team.
Yeah. That's why she's nice with it too. So yeah. That's the other thing too. They got 3 women in this episode. All of them can fight in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, and the one that had the least memorable first introduction, had the most impact on this one because she really made Lance snap out of his shit.
Yeah. Flash, I want to start off with, I like Jessie in the show, but damn, she's annoying as fuck in this episode. Number one, no, Bear, I didn't come here for you to take all that risk and fight my battle for me. Who's she fooling? She nerfed one for exactly that. Number two, to Wally, I always thought we'd find a way to be together. Well, that takes trying on both sides. You got a machine that your dad built that allows you to cross dimensions, and you know how to operate it. Wally can only get to Earth 2 by hitching a ride from Cisco. Also, what's Raleigh's response should be, Jesse, I've been training to save my sister from the god of speed. What you been up to? Because if I remember, Zoom brought all the Earth 2 metahuman criminals to Earth 1.
Yo, what are you doing?
Why do you even got a suit?
You just do, what do you do? Like you cut ribbons and kiss babies and shit? That's cool. I'm trying to save my sister from getting stabbed in the chest.
You're like, what are you doing? You stop bank robbers? Is that what you do? Okay,
that's
cute.
Adorable.
That's cute. That's cute.
Your first real problem, you come running back here.
Right.
Oh, gorillas are mad.
Right.
Okay.
Did you try looking for your dad? No, you came
here first. That's what I thought.
Julian stopped being so thirsty. Also, I swear I remember early in the season he told off Barry that he had a girlfriend, and Barry was surprised as fuck because pretty sure Julian made up and realized that his girlfriend was Savitar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was made up.
Well, that was the lie. He was like, he doesn't have a girlfriend. He's just he's vanishing.
Yeah, I feel the writers are setting up Julian to get your hands off her, you damn dirty ape, in the next episode. At least it'll sound less weird than Tom felt in an American accent in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Also, I need to know how Garad just randomly learned about Gypsy and how he got her to Earth 2. Just very surprising how sloppy the writing was this episode. Yeah, it was very sloppy. I can't say that it wasn't sloppy at all. Like there's a lot of problems there. Legends, what a clusterfuck, stupid rom-com movie lesson. When you got a crazy ex, you change the locks, aka you tell the time ship AI to avoid all former captain's orders. No one gives a fuck about Nate's feeling for Amaya and his insecurities. Amaya's beyond fine, but what did you say to Sarah? Why my team failed to catch Rip? It's my ship. It's my team. Like it's my ship, where you get free room and board. Sarah's proper response: at this point, I'm dropping your ass off with your dead boyfriend, and we'll pick up your successor. Mari. Also, your side piece is the Wave Rider's auxiliary torpedo when it's completely out of ammo. These two are the season 2 version of Hawks. I wouldn't go that far. No. The Hawks are like, if you're talking about Amaya and Nate. No, Amaya. Here's the thing: the Amaya and Nate thing just recently happened. Nate's been annoying, but that's understandable. And Amaya, I get her position in this last episode. I don't get her. Again, remember the last episode, she basically told Nate, "This was fun, but don't get too attached." The Hawks though were just terrible.
Yeah,
let's not go that far. Stargirl is not important for anyone to care about her crush on the author. Also, I'm pissed off by making her Merlin. The writers blew off the real chance of introducing the real DC Merlin and Jason Blood intro. That's all I was asking for. Didn't they have? Oh, okay. That's most ridiculous thing possible. Ray's want to be a lightsaber. First, thought it made sense. He would be slicing swords of the control knights in half and disarming them. Essentially, that piece of shit was a normal sword that glowed in the entire battle until he fought Damien Dark. And I get what I wanted with Dark's sword sliced in half. You asked him to yield, stab this motherfucker Ray to quote, "I robot, you are the smartest dumb person I've ever met." No, that's true. That is very true. All right, we still got more. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. just laid down the gauntlet. Could be argued it was Elizabeth Henshaw's best performance in the show. I would say her episodes on the
was it 8,722 hours?
Yeah.
She basically carried a show by her. Like that's people say like that's the one I point to, and like things like Will Smith acting for an hour on the I Am Legend by himself.
Yeah.
Like that's so fucking hard.
No, don't get me wrong. Like she had a great performance this episode too, but you got to go back to that one episode.
So hard to act alone
by herself. So I like her thoughts on why Gemma is in the grave in the framework. I thought it was simply she regretted that she survived Hive instead of Hydra astronaut Will. I completely agree with y'all that LMD Fitz had a different feel. Notice that they did not show him and Daisy LMD army being blown to bits, so a comeback is expected. No, they blew the base up. So there might be another there might be other models somewhere else, but anybody that was in that base is gone.
Yeah, because they went through and dragged out all the unconscious. They made a very big point of saying all the unconscious people who were still off from the gas, put them on the ship, put them on the Zephyr.
Yeah. Also, what's your take on LMD's order to kill all the Inhumans on site instead of replace them? To answer Dpalm's questions, what is the superior? My answer is a pseudo Omega Red. No, I mean I think he's a different kind of LMD, and
He's the next LMD.
he's the next LMD, and the LMD's order to kill all the Inhumans on site. Well, why replace them? If you replace
you can't
them,
replace them.
You can't replace Inhumans. You can't replace their powers. So, we got Nitro, so it's on the table until I see otherwise. I'm a little disappointed that Fitch was switched out with Matt, Coulson, and Mace. I thought that possible Fitch was a different type of LMD, designed by his father, and Ratcliffe assisted him, and the real Fitch died way before S.H.I.E.L.D. And meeting Gemma. I mean, you don't know when that Fitch was changed out. So, but maybe not that far back. We learned that Ada was originally designed based off of the Fitch that we know, and that's why he had a weird attachment to her. Ada was originally designed to feel pain. Maybe Fitch is designed to react to life and death situations that would bring the damage he is sustained by almost drowning in season 1. Just think about it. Radcliffe said that he first met Fitch's father. He talked about how proud he was of his son. Then he suddenly became disappointed. Perhaps his dad was never disappointed with the real son, but was replaced with what he was replaced with. What Fitch's father didn't expect was that Fitch's program would allow him to learn and become more human, essentially explaining the growth of Fitch from the socially awkward character he was in season 1 to where we see now. I mean, possibly. I don't think it went back that far, but who knows with the show. And this will explain into what explained into Radcliffe revealing the truth to one person in the framework because he doesn't have a body to return to. My bet would be Mac, the man who would kill any other LMD in a second. The season would end with a cliffhanger. Max hanging out with his boy Turbo with his shotgun and axe at the ready, struggling to decide on what to do. Fade to black. Thank you for the work you put in for your podcast. Hopefully you don't mind my rambling. Yeah, thank you very much. Long email, but thank you. Got one more, I believe. It was sent to another email account. Hold on. God, where is it? This is from Justin. There we go. Justin says, this is about Gorilla City. Hey, great guys, great review as always. You strike a balance between pointing out flaws in the show and offering critiques while still finding enjoyment in the things you watch. So I heard the Gorilla City review, and I can't believe you all didn't make a Tom Felton Planet of the Apes joke. That's my first thing I jumped to when I heard him saying Planet of the Apes. So I have a theory on who dies for the end of the season. Barry Allen. Hear me out. Savitar predicts that Iris will die, but they'll change the future and save her because they're not getting rid of Candace Patton. Yes, you don't want them problems. I do think, like I'm always saying they should do it just to see the world burn, but they don't want them problems. I do think Barry does something to trap himself and Savitar in the Speed Force. But like you said, that's what Flashes do. They sacrifice. So the opening of season 4 is rescuing Barry from the Speed Force, and Wally growing into his own without a mentor. Always, and once that's done, they focus on the myth arc. Anyway, they just wanted to get that out and keep it the great work. So I was thinking about this. I read this, and so here's my thing on that. If this was Agent S.H.I.E.L.D., definitely. I'm picking up, but just like I picked up a pattern with Agent S.H.I.E.L.D. and how I can pick out certain things they're doing, I picked up a pattern.
It's like a rhythm of the show.
A rhythm of the show, and I don't see Flash doing that because while they do go certain places, there seem to be lines they won't cross. Like they won't go there. But maybe they do to get a completely different change of the show. If they do that, it would completely change the dynamic of the show, which maybe they need to do. But we'll see. Like that's my dark horse. If you gave me like, listen, a 1 in 1,000 chance of something happening, what would you pick? That would be my choice. But I only don't bring it up now because I feel like the more and more I talk about it, the more and more I want it to happen. And when it doesn't happen, I'm going to be disappointed.
And as opposed to judging what does happen on its merits, we're judging it based on the why I didn't do what I wanted to do.
Right. And so that's why I haven't brought up that theory. But I do like that. I would love for that to happen. I just don't see it happening. So, yeah. So, all right. Before we get out of here, Dpalm does have. So there are a couple of Batman things we want to talk about. I wanted to talk about this little chart, little rankings that Tom King put out about the best fighters in the Bat family, but
we don't have enough time. I have things to do today. We can talk. We have a character corner to record. I have a lot of things. No, we'll do that. There's no Shield. After Flash, I will handle this rankings bullshit.
It's not. Hey, his list wasn't that bad, was it? Okay.
It wasn't that good.
We're not going to.
As opposed to good, like what?
We're not gonna do this today. So what is it you want to talk about?
So an announcement happened, and you misread it. You were like in for a second.
I was in because I thought, I was in for a second.
So it looks like the director of the Lego Batman movie, which I haven't seen yet, but I've been told I have to, has been chosen, or is in preliminary talks, or it's Warner's, so you don't know. The thing about this is that people got to realize is that there aren't exactly investigative fucking journalists working the Warner's beat. They're not hacking Warner's to get this information. Everything that's being leaked is being leaked on purpose. So when people say, this is exclusive information we got from an inside source, they told you to see how the public would react, you idiots. Woodward and Bernstein ain't like, oh my God, Transformers 6. I'm sorry. Now, sorry. That bugs me because I've been dealing with a lot of sports stuff with that too. Like, if the team's told you, if you find out it's because the team wanted you to know, you idiot. Where was I? Oh, the announcement that they're going to attempt to make. I'm going to try to get to the end of the whole thing before I wax philosophic and get really mad. They're going to make a Nightwing movie set in the DC universe. And they've tentatively chosen the directors of the recent Lego Batman movie, Kriss McKay, and this is what they say is going to happen. And I just want to say some things here. This movie will not get made. There's a post that's in the MTR Facebook group right now. If you're not a member of the group, you should join. That outlines the 20 movies they've claimed they're making. And somehow either cheerfully or like ironically, they just add Nightwing to the list at the bottom. This movie won't get made. If it gets made, it will be made so poorly. Because one of the things you got to understand about Nightwing, about the character himself, who for my money is the greatest superhero America's ever produced. For the layman, he's Batman light. And you know the deft hand with which DC treats its characters, he said sarcastically, that's exactly what we get. We get Batman in a domino mask. And that's not who Nightwing is. He's the Robin made good. He's the truest. He's going to kill like 27 people in this movie. They're going to play up all the worst. Like, some of the things about Dick Grayson is that he's allegedly like, he's the ideal young man. Everyone wants to be with him. Every guy wants to be him. And you know what they'll do? They'll make him some oh my God, this is going to be some womanizing, just like Playboy. They're going to miss the point on everything about Nightwing. I'm so mad.
I'm sorry.
Like, this is offensive.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, it feels like a direct assault at me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, am I on a camera? Like, are they watching my reactions? Which is fine. I guess you can do whatever you want, I guess. But I'll tell you this. You're going to ruin Nightwing for a lot of people if you make this movie what you want.
Right.
Because I don't know if you heard the DC news this week. They finally convinced Matt Reeves to sign on to do Batman, which means, by the way, if I have to convince you to sign on to direct fucking Batman, the project's not in good shape.
You know what it was, right? Ben Affleck said, if you don't get Matt Reeves, I walk. Well, even when the news broke last week, and again, this isn't like someone has a mole inside of Warner. They told us this stuff. Mm-hmm. Matt Reeves has walked away from the negotiation table, but negotiations were still open. They made a very big point of saying that last week. And I think you're right. I think it came down to our star wants this guy. And they got him. And I hope that he's got a guarantee in there that says that when the movie doesn't come out, he still gets paid. Right. Oh, man. What a mess.
It's irresponsible. That's what it is.
It's a fucking mess. All right, folks. We'll get more on this. Trust me, because there'll be more news by Wednesday when we do our Super Tuesday. So
Flash will have gained and lost 2 more directors.
Right. Maybe you have to do another script rewrite.
It's coming out next year, though.
Right. All right, folks. Again, leave us a 5-star review on Super Tuesday Recap. We'll read it on air. Send us the emails. Remember, get them in by 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday if you want them to be read on that Super Tuesday before we review Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. on break until April, or The Flash, and by Friday actually Saturday, because we're normally recording on Sundays, by Saturday for Legend of Tomorrow and Arrow. So again, until next time, folks. And the email address is mtrailerreviews@movietrailerreviews.net. Till next time, folks, we're out of here. Peace.